Hello there. I'm doing some self-reflection in quarantine because, to be honest, I have been very down lately and just not myself, and I really just felt like getting that back and feeling good again, because it sucks being in a type of thing where you're just feeling like you're sinking and you just don't know how you're gonna bridge the gap between what you want to do and like where you're now at, and the only thing that's really stopping you is you, and that's like where I am at the moment. I just realized that, it's not worth not trying to better myself and then just having myself be the problem of like myself standing in between me and happiness and my goals, and I just don't think that's fair. So I decided I'm gonna make this video because I feel like that's kind of positive and it's a good time to be doing some self-reflection. And yeah, so it probably sounds really basic, but it is stuff that I've been personally struggling with. We all have like our own struggles at our own times, so obviously, what might seem trivial to you might not be trivial at all to someone else. And yeah, let's just get into it. So some things I decided to better with myself in the quarantine time period is definitely surrounding myself with more positive content, because at some stage I just got so overwhelmed because I was surrounded by so many like negative things and negative content that I was just like, oh my god, how am I gonna do this? And even in things that I was like taking on at the moment, because I'm not going to elaborate in this video, but I do have quite a few things that I started doing this year that I have to learn from scratch. So besides being in a whole new situation, because I was first year and I'm going to be like second year after June, I'm very excited in uni. So besides starting that and this whole big step in my life, I also started a bunch of new things that I wanted to do because I kind of require them to accomplish my goals, and it's just very hard learning something from scratch and then, having negative content around you that is maybe not related to it but also kind of related to it, and just puts you off when you're overwhelmed to do something. It's kind of like when you're into exercise, like I was not anymore, want to get back in it, and then you start learning about the most effective exercises and you get caught up in this like whole loop of, oh my god, I need to do the best thing ever, and then you just end up doing nothing because you're so in this cycle of criticizing yourself and watching things that might not necessarily seem negative, but they can sometimes be negative. So I'm just trying to surround myself with more positive content, getting myself to learn things, and then also not being overwhelmed, so it's not necessarily negative content. Another thing I'm trying to do is be more healthy and exercise again, because it made me really happy, and ever since I stopped exercising and gained weight, I just didn't feel very good about myself. Not that I have ever really I didn't really have that problem before. I did have a stunt where I did have something close to an eating disorder before, and I did deal with that, but that was a very long time ago by now. And at this point it's like I didn't expect my weight gain to be an issue, because I'm not fat, I just went up a few dress sizes, so it was just a very weird thing to deal with. And I just like felt my confidence since then hasn't been quite where it was, and that's like more a me issue versus a body issue. And yeah, I just decided I want to be more healthy. I was healthy before, I was exercising a lot, and I just feel like I want to get back into that. So I'm starting to make smoothies in the morning again and getting up earlier and getting some exercise in, and like everything I was able to do easily before, I'm like struggling my ass off to do now. I can barely do 20 squats, so that's like where we're at. I walk around the block, well I can now, it's Corona, but like previously when I walked around the block it was like, oh easy, I could run around the block, I could go jogging. Now it's like I walk down the street and I'm winded. It's weird. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing that. And then the other really important thing is I am very hard on myself, and I want to stop being so hard on myself, because it is really keeping me from being happy and, like I said, accomplishing my goals. Because everything I do, I'm like, I'm the meanest person to myself. I've never met someone who has, I have had some mean things said to me before, but I've never met someone who is as mean to me as, well, me. And I just, it's self-deprecation and stuff can be really cute in jokes, but like I think that that whole culture kind of had a negative effect on me, because like since I was little, like all of my idols were like deprecating queens. And honestly, like I love self-deprecating jokes, but I also realized that some self-deprecating jokes is more self-deprecation versus a joke, and it's really starting not to, that line was crossed for me a really long time ago. So everything I did, I would just be really, really hard on myself, and I would criticize myself a lot. And like every single thing I would do, or every time I would look in the mirror or do anything, I would just think the most awful thing, and it just stopped me from doing anything. And ever since I started working from home and studying from home, it's just been like, I think even worse than before, because like it was just then lack of confidence, and then now it's like this whole thing of you're just constantly criticizing yourself. No matter how long you work, it's never enough. No matter how much time you spend on saying, you don't want to try anything because you feel like you'll just suck at it and you'll be worthless and pathetic. And I just want to stop feeling worthless, because I don't think, obviously that's not a good mindset to be in. And I don't know, it's really hard to explain. I just don't want to like make the entire video about this one topic, but basically I'm very hard on myself, and I just realized that it's not worth it. There's no scenario where being that hard on myself is going to better me. Like obviously being somewhat hard on yourself is a good thing because it does motivate me, but it's also at the point where it's stopping me from doing things, and that's not a good place to be anxiety filled because of yourself. Like you already have enough problems from the external world. You don't need to kill the happiness inside of you as well. And I just feel like it's so weird to say that, but it's kind of trendy sometimes to be like, oh, I'm so depressed, I'm so anxious, like I hate myself, I'm dead on the inside. But like when you actually reach that point, it's like, this fucking sucks, and I don't know how I'm gonna do anything with my life, and how I'm gonna get out of bed, and how I'm gonna do any of the things I'm passionate about and really love and want to do. And that feeling is just so horrible. I don't know how to explain it, and it's like it's so hard to get your confidence up where it was before. So yeah, that's what I'm working on at the moment. And like what I'm trying to do right now is like every time I say something bad about myself, I'll like think something good, or when I think something bad about myself, I'll say something good, or like when I say something bad, I'll say something good afterwards, just to like start getting my mind subconsciously thinking nicer things again. Because like right now it's automatic, like it just happens and I don't really think about it. It's not something I like think hard about. It just happens, and then it breaks down your confidence, and then subconsciously it's also not good for you. I know there are some studies done on that. I just don't know them well enough to quote them, but I have passing by, I know that. That's like the dumbest, well, see, there it goes. Yeah, I should probably cite if I'm gonna say something like that, but anyway, yeah, it's just not good for yourself to subconsciously say things like that, and then eventually subconsciously it affects you. So right now I'm trying to get my subconsciousness and self-consciousness in a much more positive place, and I think I'm going to be able to accomplish a lot more if I don't constantly put myself down. And I think that goes for a lot of people watching. If you do the same, how do you deal with it? And secondly, maybe this will work for you, because I really hope it does. And then obviously I'm going to try implementing more positive things. This is just what I'm doing right now. And the other thing is I'm going to take a lot more time for self-care and care for my body, and just spending time on myself and feeling good about myself and doing things that make me feel confident, so I can get back into the mindset of feeling confident. And I think that's such an important place to be, because if you're not confident, it's really hard to do a lot of things. So I'm also doing a lot more planning and finding my strengths, because I feel like if you don't plan your day correctly, you can't use your day correctly. And that's just I'm trying to be a lot more goal oriented, and if you don't plan, you know, obviously you're not going to get anything done. And I did plan previously because, you know, uni student, you kind of have to, but I'm just going to spend a lot of more time using my hours correctly, because there are a lot of times where I just don't get much done and there isn't a lot of reason to. So I'm just gonna spend time planning more, and I also want to find my strengths, because I just realized that, like, you know, when you come to a certain point, sometimes you can't really name your strengths, and I'm not really wired or groomed to be able to do that. So I'm definitely going to be working to name my strengths and like figure out what I'm good at, and I think that's such an important thing. So yeah, it's been a positive outcome, I think, being in quarantine and having to actually face these sort of things and deal with it. And when life usually moves that fast, and then now you're just kind of forced to sit with your problems and deal with them. So I'm definitely going to be taking that away after quarantine is over. And I just hope that everyone stays safe and washes their hands and like takes care of themselves and their family and doesn't put themselves into unnecessary danger, because right now that is probably, I mean, that is the last thing anyone needs. So yeah, I just wish everyone the best, and I really hope you liked this video. It was just like a chatting video, and you know, I want to do more videos where I like show how I implement things and other things I am implementing just to, you know, glow up a bit, change my life a bit, because right now I just feel that it's necessary. So yeah, I hope that you will find happiness and you will accomplish your goals, and that everything good is gonna happen, and you're just gonna like figure shit out and be a little bit better than before, or yesterday at least. So please like and subscribe this. Please like and subscribe this video. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I hope that I will be posting content that you like. I'm gonna try. I'm really having a lot of fun. It's definitely been a learning process. So turn on the notification down below, and bye!